Thank you.
What's happening?
Just at home, quarantined on a rainy Saturday in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. One, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you both. I wanted to do this business side of the game, for us as a platform where entrepreneurs get to speak about their passions, their wins, share information with, the young entrepreneurs out there that, are seeking advice, in your space, outside of your space. We feel like as a community, if we can talk about who we are and present ourselves, to our community, then the insiders will move for the insiders. So one, want to thank you for coming on our live show. And I wanted to kick it off by just saying, like, let's get into it. Like, how did this all start? Give us a little bit of your backgrounds, and let the people hear from you.
Well, you want to go first?
Yeah.
No?
Um, Mike and I met in college at the Rhode Island School of Design, and we weren't fast friends. We were kind of like just fascinated with each other and thought the other person was crazy. And then we dove in and just started making stuff together, and didn't really know what that was going to be. We ended up making a collection and then showing it, and then have been doing it ever since.
Yeah, neither of us came from a fashion background. As Zoe mentioned, we met at school, and we were both studying fine art at the time. So fashion was something, and we really bonded over and clicked on that when we got to know each other.
As like a platform.
Yeah. And so speak more on that, like fashion and fine art,
It was like a space for us, I think, to consider. Like, I was studying sculpture at the time, and Zoe was studying textiles. And I think the ideas around making clothing, even though when we became friends, we were not making roughly playing with clothing, I guess. But as just like a mode of expression and creativity, and we were more drawn towards that, I think, than traditional fine art route that our studies were focused in.
Yeah, like we weren't interested in having like a solo studio practice. We really loved the platform that fashion provided us of like being able to collaborate and work with people and like build teams and like dress people up and communicate in that way. That was so much more exciting. And we sort of moved into it without really knowing what we were doing.
Yeah, and like the everyday language of fashion, I think, was something that we were really drawn to as something that was constantly a form of performativity and self-expression, and that wasn't something that was necessarily separate in a institutional setting of how you have to be able to approach it.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, it's like just kind of being a novice in this space. It seems like there's a culture right around all these sectors of art, but a lot of times that there feel like there's barriers. Is that safe to say? And then for you guys to come in and to approach it as an ecosystem, I would love for you to speak about that, like how you're integrating the community, right, of art into this collage of fine art and fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I think also in terms of like the culture in the art community, there's a lot that you can say and see and express, but at the end, like it is in service to the people that can afford to buy art. And that what also wasn't interesting to us. Like we were way more interested in engaging with a much larger audience and having them like wear our clothes and like play with our clothes, whether that was like bought through us or secondhand or whatever. But like the distribution of the ideas was much more interesting to us in the space of fashion. And it really actually afforded us a lot more room to like experiment and grow because it felt a lot more rigid. Like the
right.
Yeah, and I think the sense of like collaboration, I think just from the beginning of it, in Zoe and I, in Eckhaus Latta being a collaborative practice between Zoe and I, it was always very natural, the idea of working with others and bringing other people into the fold and kind of having this conversation with friends and peers and who are in the fashion or mainly more art community, and kind of having the ability, like, the ability to really explore a creative space was
Mm-hmm.
something that was really exciting for us, and allowing it to kind of navigate organically over time was something that really is kind of just like how it ended up flowing. There was never so much like, oh, well, we need to work with this person for this thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like you make something that's really interesting, or you've done this that's compelling, and we're thinking of this, and like, how could we work together? Was, I think, a lot of how our practice had been when we're working with people in the art space.
That's awesome. And like, would you like to see the fashion industry kind of move more in this, more inclusive direction?
Yeah, and I think it has. Like
Yeah.
when we started, it was like really strange that we had like different models like that were just industry models. And now
Mm-hmm.
it's like there are tons of people of all shapes and sizes represented in campaigns and in billboards and things like this. So I think it is changing. I definitely think it can be more progressive in that sense, but it's, one day at a time. And now, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, very good point. Well, it's definitely who knows what the landscape will be like once we're all let out of our homes.
Hi, Jacob.
Hey guys. Oh,
This is
What's
one of our
happening?
models, Jacob Dixon, in his front yard in LA. Thanks for joining us.
it's me and Nash.
Oh, hey.
What's happening? What's up, Jacob?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Staying safe. I see you. Keeping your distance.
I am. There's no one out here. It's just me. I'm getting into quarantine now. I like it.
Oh wow, we going up. We going up. So welcome to Business Inside the Game. Welcome to our conversation. We're just really talking about the brand, the company, matching contemporary art with fashion, and wanting you to chime in and just talk about your perspective of where you see kind of art and fashion, and just like where the brand and entrepreneurs can rise to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, given how scary and weird and insecure everything is right now, at the same time, I think for a lot of creative people, even though things are pretty uncertain, I also think that right now is a really exciting time for people spiritually and creatively to be able to spend time in their practice, spend time learning new things, doing research, informing their own work, taking time to like spend time with their loved ones and do all that stuff. So
Right.
on the other end of everything, I think that there's something super hopeful about this. I'd like to believe that, as scary as it is, especially for people that, like me, do gig work, or creative people that, their work kind of fluctuates, or it isn't necessarily, independent creators and things like that. I think that it's easy to be a bit anxious right now, but I think that it's also a time where people have the opportunity to really focus on themselves and focus on their work, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tanya?
All right. So hi.
Got that?
What's happening?
Top looks so good on you. Damn.
All right. So look, Mike, Zoe, walk us through what I feel like we got all these incredible, beautiful people popping up on the screen in this dope fashion. Walk us through what we about to watch, and like it's a part of our segment called "What's in the Closet." So I would love for people to see what you all have been working on. So we'll let you kind of have the floor with Jacob and Sonia and whoever else is coming in. This is exciting.
They're all beautiful models, but Jacob is also an amazing photographer. Sonia is also an entrepreneur and has an incredible clothing line called Cumties. And Kate is like the funniest person in the world and an amazing comedian. So So the models, obviously, they look fly, but
Oh, hey.
hey, girl. Oh, and we.
Hey, booze.
Uh-oh.
The most important model of them all.
Whoa. Kate,
Oh, are we live?
background?
Yeah, we're live.
Stop gaming stone.
I want a cool background.
I want a cool
Me too.
baby.
I know. Hold up.
What's up, Stone?
What's up, Katie? Kate, what's up, Kate? I like that.
Hi, greetings.
Kate, how did you do that?
I don't want to brag, but I went into preferences. I was able to locate this background.
Stunning.
I love my outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all looking.
I was like, where's preferences?
Yes.
So Zoe, do you want to tell me what we're wearing?
So everyone is wearing right now the Spring 20 collection. Maybe we're going to spin in their cameras. This just came out this week. So Jacob is wearing.
You guys
sweater.
have to mute their phones. They have to mute their screen. Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to mute outside of Mike and Zoe. Everyone, Jacob, Sonia, mute, and then we'll call on you. Thank you. There we go. Cool.
Yeah. So Jacob is wearing the spine sweater and the
shadow dye pants.
No, that's not the
Okay.
shirt.
Oh, that was fire.
No, they're the
Oh, that
block.
was fire.
The
Yeah.
block wash. The block wash
Yeah.
G.
Oh, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
Those
And
are
a lot of our
fire.
clothing we consider to be unisex, especially with the knitwear and the denim.
Uh-huh.
So that's something that he's styling, but also this looks really good on women as well. Sonia is wearing the cowboy corset,
Okay. Rocky Sonya.
the pearl flare knit pants.
And Kate is wearing the space cardigan and the space wrap skirt.
Very
Kate, we can't
appropriate
really
for
see
setting.
you though. Kate, we can't see you.
Really?
Kate, you got it. The background. Yeah, there we go. Now we can see it. The background is taken away from the outfit. We may have to switch that. We may have to switch that background, Kate.
And V is in the Three Dogs hoodie.
I
So,
like that.
which is very quarantine appropriate, I would say.
I like that. I like that. I was checking that out.
And she's
But I
wearing
think it's also like a fun space now to get dressed up a bit when you're stuck at home and going a little
Yeah.
stir. You know, why not?
wanting to dress.
Yeah, that's like that's the fire walk the dog. Okay, Kate. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And so let's talk about the inspiration behind this collection, and like how did you what were your thought process?
Definitely.
Just going through it.
So there's never direct forms of inspiration behind it necessarily at the collection. It's more of amalgamation of different things we've been thinking about, things we've been responding to from the work before to where we are at the moment, and a lot of like conversation between Zoe and I, us with our teams, and kind of how we all kind of come together to end up creating the collection. So it's always this back and forth into like what the final garments are that you see. But I think in the end of the day, we always want to make clothes that, people feel good, like people are going to feel good in and feel good about themselves in. And sometimes, something can be a bit sexy, something can be a bit frumpy, something can be both at once.
Uh-huh.
And people feel good.
Yeah. And
Look at Stone. Special guest Stone.
no, we don't make baby clothes, but I wish I dropped something off.
we got the model right there.
Yeah.
But you were saying.
Well, Mike and I both our friendship really started based on materials and a material collaboration. So still in our work, we're constantly kind of developing new textiles or new applications of textiles we've already done. So like the jeans Jacob's wearing is like a new wash we developed in LA with our wash house. And what Sonia and Kate are wearing are both like knit structures we made. So it's like, as Mike said, we don't have like direct inspiration. It didn't come from like, 1950s, la la la. But
Yeah.
Try to make it a little bit more abstract than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love it. And I don't want to keep you all. I know thank all the models for their time and for their quarantine time, looking good. So
Could we ask them
Story.
how they're liking wearing the clothes? 'Cause I didn't know how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
would
feel
love
good.
to. Yeah, I would love to. We would love to know that. Kate, go ahead.
I love this outfit. I have to say, the way it feels, I don't know what you would call this fabric, but it's incredibly soft and comfortable and kind of slinky and fun, and manages to be kind of formal, but also just so comfortable.
I haven't gotten dressed in days, so I feel incredible.
Yeah, I put on a red lip. I haven't put on lipstick in years. Yeah.
These four, yeah.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
What's the plan?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Jacob?
I'm good. These pants, same thing. I got dressed for the first time in, I don't know, maybe 74 years yesterday and went and got a bottle of wine. Now I feel good.
V, how's the sweater?
It's essentially I've been living in it since they've messengered it to me. So I love it. It's one of my favorites. We're inspiring them to start a kids line.
Yeah, I love that.
That's amazing. So it's like it's durable. That's what.
Oh, it's so comfy. And the jeans, even though I've never wear high waisted, but it actually is really good on me. Sorry, I can't remember.
It looks great from over here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I covet
look.
that sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I know. I need the sweatshirt. I need the pants, and that's gonna be my outfit for my when this turns into a real TV show. Or we may not even need TV anymore. I like it like this. This is kind of cool. If you could impart words of wisdom, and you guys can go meet again. If you can impart words of wisdom to the entrepreneurs out there, to the other designers out there, what would that be to the people who are watching and listening in?
Work hard and don't give up, as corny as that may sound. Just keep going.
Yeah, you just have to work really hard.
And then speak. You know what? I would love for you to speak on collaboration, right? Because there are partners out there. There are entrepreneurs that are trying to form partnerships and collaborate. What is your DNA, right? And what is like the thing that you both hold on to that is, that we call as your business inside the game?
Well, I think you got to find someone to be your partner or partners that are like totally different from you, that really bring opposite things to the table, but then have like a real ability to speak your truth in those conversations, which is almost like you have to be really willing to fight. Like, it's not fighting, it's just like constantly balancing ideas against the other, I think is what makes our partnership function.
And being honest.
Found each other. Yeah.
Being honest and critical of someone and yourself in a way that's not, you're not like, it's not aggressive. It's just trying to push towards the greater good.
I don't see it as aggressive, but it's just the tea, being able to dish the tea. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, work hard sounds really corny, but I feel like it's really synonymous with like athletes. Like when we were doing our first shows, it was like so exhausting and so taxing. And now it's like you build up a strength where you build up a resistance and you like get better at it. And it's not as hard, but you keep
it's like getting fit. And it's like you keep working out when you're like working out consistently than like every now and then. So
Yeah, I think for us, that's why we formed Business Inside the Game, because we believe that the DNA of an athlete is the same DNA of an artist, is the same DNA of a designer. And, that's why we really want to, kind of allow our community to talk about all the things that we hold, positive to ourselves, right? And that fabric, and it translates across every industry. So, one, I think you both are, just breaking ground, really, and just scratching the surface of, what's to come. Just the way you think, the way you've presented this, this brand, and I hate to say it as a brand. It's a community, a movement, right, where people have, an opportunity to have access points on all levels. And I just lastly, I want you to just talk about the show in 2018.
Oh yeah, I could show you a little.
You want to talk about the fashion show or the Whitney show?
The Whitney show.
Yeah, that was a really fun project that kind of like, I don't know, took it out of us. It was a lot, but that was like our biggest collaboration in terms of how many people we worked with. And so we worked with a bunch of our friends who are artists to commission.
Wow.
Is this working?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's proud of you.
Tech savvy.
This is incredible.
But will you go to the main room? So we worked.
Yeah, so I clicked too quickly. I'm going to circle back through. 1 second.
For artists to make a bunch of fixtures was kind of like the same question.
Right.
That's the difference between an object and a functional object, and like where do you hold that value? So it was kind of like this rug you see on the floor is by our friend, the artist Sophie Stone, or our friend Martine Sims made this beautiful table. Our friend Jeff Joyal made this rack. So kind of like they're all sculptors or painters and made different fixtures to display the clothes on. And
it's
then
amazing.
Everything in the show was we did like some one-of-a-kind pieces, and we did other like repurposed t-shirts. This was our kind of like ad campaign for it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
When you entered the space, and it was kind of,
That's fire. That's fire. I'm glad our people are getting the opportunity to to actually see it, right?
Yeah. And then
the control room is sick.
This was a project where we took all the surveillance footage of people in the different stores where we sell our clothes, and we made this with the director Alexa Karolinski.
Yeah, it's kind of like
that's fire.
For fashion, like
that's so fire.
Some of them were live and some of them weren't. And so kind of like this commentary on surveillance culture. And then you could also watch the people in the room next to you shop live.
That's fire. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys for everyone.
Yeah. Thank
you. I mean, this is just, this is just super encouraging, and just, a show of like, man and woman and creative minds and spirit and energy. And I think, the people watching this, they need this right now. And, how can everybody, find you guys? Make sure I want you to get a shout out for your handles and all that.
Yeah,
so we can keep track.
Instagram, Eckhaus _Latta.
I think it's down below on the thing. But
is it?
No, is it?
Maybe not. I don't see it on the Zoom. But we should say that we're giving 15% of all of our sales this week to the World Health
Organization.
That's amazing.
So if there's anything that any of our gorgeous models were wearing, plus a lot more, are on our website, eckhouslatta.com. Yeah, and this week, 15% of all sales will go to the World Health Organization.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me on.
And can't wait to see you guys.
Yes.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.
Well,
Here we go.